We've got here a Sony PVM 8040 and a JVC TM-A9U. These are both, your basic entry-level PVMs here. The one on the left has 250 TV lines. It's Sony's 8-inch or 9-inch tube. It's really more of an 8. You can see how much smaller it is than the JVC. And the JVC one's listed as having, I've seen documentation that said 280, and others said 300. It's got composite going into the Sony and going out to the JVC. And just your basic setup here on the Sony one. These are both very basic monitors. They're both from 2000, and they're both pretty well used. They both have a little bit of screen burn in. That's what you get when you buy these ones listed as tested to power on. But right off you can see how much bigger the JVC's screen is. Looking from the top here, it's not near as deep as well. So if you're looking to get one of the Sony ones, keep in mind that it's just much smaller, even though they're both considered in the 9-inch class. Like an 8041 or 8042Q, they can do RGB, but it's still going to be this 250 line tube and much smaller. But it does have S-video, and this one only has composite. So, and the JVC, they both have their feet. This one's feet are on it. You can see it's standing up a little. I took the ones off the JVC. But there's one of them on top just to show that it's about that height. So yeah, if you're just going to get one of the basic ones, I'd get the JVC. But I'll show the 8040 and S-video in just a few minutes. Now, let's get to the look how much bigger McDuck is. The JVC is just, much more usable. And they've both been adjusted geometry-wise to, very similar settings for their screen. I like to adjust my Nintendo games like that. But the JVC one here on the right, it has a Panasonic tube. So the Ikegamis, the JVCs, and the Panasonic, the 9s, like the BT9 or the TM9s, they'll all have this same tube. And it'll stand a little taller. It's more tall than it is wide, as opposed to the Sony ones, the 8040, 8041Q, 8042Q. It's more wide than it is tall. I mean, it's still good. I mean, if you can get either of them, I'd get either of them, but if you had the choice between them and both had S-video, I'd definitely go with the JVC or the Ikegami, whichever one has this tube. But this one is not bad at all. I'll show it in S-video in just a minute here, and I'll show you how you make adjustments on that one. Alright, I hooked it up in S-video. So if you made up your mind that you wanted an 8040, they look really good in S-video. Don't get me wrong, it's just a lot smaller. So when you get it, it's going to need a little bit of adjustment, and it just has the four screws on each side, and the top and the sides come out together. The back stays on, and on this side right here is the D board, which is right there. So here we go. There's going to be your vertical size, H size, H phase, and then up. Right back over here is a blue one for vertical center. And right now I have it maxed out on H size. So these ones are really easy to work on. It's a little board that just flips down. and that's obviously on that side. There's just two screws holding it in and two little plastic clips, and this little part right there that goes around the flyback wire, and you can get it adjusted pretty well. And don't get me wrong, they look good, but it's the screen size I just can't get over. Even if you get one with RGB, you know, even at 8045, it's going to be 450 lines with RGB, but it'll still be this same shape, the same size, which is just, you know, a lot smaller than the JVC or Panasonic Ikegami ones. I don't know why they did that. Sony made like 8s, and they jumped all the way to 13s and 19s. I'd really like to see a 10 or an 11. But yeah. The 8040. Not too bad. It's from 2000. Just the one line. Neat little cherry handle on the top. 250 lines. And a true 8 inches, unfortunately. That'd be the one drawback. I look at it next to the NES. I mean, it's cute, but I'd rather use the JVC. It's hard to get a good picture on here. I mean, it is nice and clear in this video. Composite wasn't anything to write home about. And again, both of my monitors I got here were listed as parts, or just tested to power on, so they're well worn. The geometry is still good, but there's a little bit of screen burning you can't see, but it's right over. You'll see it on a solid color. It's right in that area. It says like 3G, because either generally uses like a security camera. Yeah, 8040. Not the worst, not the best, but a small screen.